Hi, welcome back to Miss Candy's Land. Um, so I'm making this video today because I have a message of hope of that one person could hear, or I could just say out loud and watch myself say it. I'm a hot mess today because something incredibly divine it's just presented itself to me. When I first came here, so I left Arizona. It had in the spring. It had gotten a little weird. I could see intentions on people for me. I could, feel this darkness coming in, and spirit pushing, saying it's time to bounce. It's time to bounce. But I ignored it because I really loved my little school, and I just loved what I did every day. It just made me feel like a whole person, like I was in my purpose, right? Like that was my purpose. But then things got weird, and I'm not going to really go into that, but my friend passed away, and, she had been married for 30 years, and, her husband, really, me and him were friends first. I call him my BFF. He's an awesome person. And, we came to be companionship for him, to help him, just to be here if there was anything he needed, and not to feel alone. And right after we got here, one of our storage facilities was set on fire. So it was like an outdoor one, where they were all just beside each other, like duplexes or townhomes or something like that, just kind of lined up, right? And we found that out, in June, that it had burned down, but they kept, saying you can't have access. They were doing this investigation. And, when we first found out, we didn't freak out. We were just like, oh, if that's what, if Source doesn't want me to have those things, I won't have those things. Like, in true, total surrender of, they're just items. If I'm not meant to have it, maybe it's a burden into a blessing, where I don't have to move this stuff, or, whatever. We were very lighthearted in it. And one of the reasons is because when I moved from Colorado to Arizona a few years ago, I rented my house to a friend, not this friend, but another friend. And I had like a detached garage where I was keeping storage in it. And they robbed me. They taped up my cameras. They robbed me. I reported it. I sent them an eviction notice, and we secured all the doors. And so they just drove a van through it. And so they didn't rob me once. They robbed me twice. And so what was in this storage facility was just what was left, what was left of what I didn't take to Arizona at that time, right? So a lot of it I had replaced. So again, when I heard it was on fire, I was like, oh, well, maybe that is a blessing in disguise. And I kept my joy and my vibration. And I knew the Source had a plan. I knew that. I didn't have any doubt. And that's why I started doing the videos. It's once, in the first one, I say they set my facility on fire. It was like, I can't let these things, one thing after another, drag me down. I've got to find the higher vibration, the higher frequency, whatever joy I can find. Right. And so making these videos has given me great joy, and, just helping my friend out, going camping with him, and just, just being a family together, and really supporting each other. It just kept me really vibing high. And I didn't make a video yesterday because I went to a Pink Floyd concert. It's my favorite thing. Man, those light shows, when they have the live bands that sound just like it, because I feel like I'm saying a lot of the stuff that people have been saying for a long time, making albums, all this just, and more people awaken with each, time. You think back to the song "The Turning Away" by Pink Floyd. Like, I don't know how anyone couldn't be inspired by hearing that song, and then to see it played live with all these, lights and things to really expand your mind, right? And so that's what I did last night, because I knew today was the day I was going to have to go to that facility, right? Because they had finally said, you can have access on Saturday. And I was like, yeah, let me just make sure I'm high vibing, because I can't even remember what I was in there. Now, I do a lot of art. a lot of woodwork. I have a lot of antiques, and some of that stuff did make it in there. And I was thinking, none of that's going to be saved. So I was preparing myself for that. But like, again, I can remake it. Like, I was still vibing in a good place, but I was afraid that, I might be brought down. So anyway, I went there, and every facility around mine burnt to a crisp. I opened mine expecting the water damage at least. Smoke damage, nothing. Everything is exactly the way that I left it, in the shape that I left it. No water even made its way, no smoke. Everything was just like I left it. And it was just, when I opened the door, it was like a pow, and I can see different spirits and stuff. They all just were just like, ha ha, go tell this, right? Because sometimes we let ourselves, worry about things that, or be upset about things that didn't even happen. You just haven't found out yet. You just got to hold on to that joy and that vibration until you know for sure. Because if it did turn out that it was rubble, I would have been in a state where I'd have been like, okay, well, Source just did me a favor. I don't have to worry about moving this stuff, and even I don't look at it as though it didn't burn down as a bad thing either. Like, it was a win-win, right? But when I went in there and I was able to just pull out years of me pouring my heart out into my artwork, I shed a tear. And to remind me, that I am good at a lot of things. Anything I want to try, I make it a point. I'm not gonna try something new and I give it everything I got to see if it's really something I'm meant to do or can do. And it just brought me back a really cool, stark reminder of, no matter what happens around me, I'm okay. I'm okay because I listen to Source. I let it guide me. And when I left Arizona, I don't think I have been in such a deep, can I get a word? 1 second. Surrender. Deep surrender. I just got in that U-Haul truck when I left and said, Jesus, take the wheel. It was cliche, but it was kind of like that. Like, I trust you. I can feel you pushing me out. I'd had a lot of paranormal experiences that were just back to back to back, that were different from what I was used to. And just all these different things were occurring. And then once I passed that state line, it was like beauty. It was like, oh, the sun isn't burning me or hurting my eyes. It looks gorgeous. Like those types of things. Everything was just, it put me in this state of gratefulness, which I've always been grateful. I've always tried to make sure that I have a regimen of gratefulness, where I had shared a mantra with you guys a while back about saying, I am that I am, gratitude. I'm grateful for all that I am and all that I can be. I am that I am, protection. I'm grateful that I'm protected, and then I can extend protection to others. Those types of things that I say, and I'm meditating in, and I do it a lot of my day, right now, because I'm on hiatus. I'm just taking this summer to be what Source needs me to be, where I need to be. And it has worked out for me in a way that I can't even put into words. And I just wanted to share that message of hope. Like, just because you've seen on the news or they call you and tell you that everything's burnt down, it might not be. It might not be, right? And if it is, can you reconcile and be okay with that and think, if that happened to me, it's probably because it needed to, right? There was a lot of negative energy attached to all the things in that building, because it was like a really low point in my life where people I trusted were just really trying to tear me down. They were really trying to take from me, even though I had said, here, you give it to you, right? It wasn't, it was tough. It was tough. I've totally made peace with all of that. And I'm just in such gratitude today. And I just really wanted to share that. And, I would encourage everyone to go listen to The Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd. Like, Roger Waters was a genius. He was a genius. He knew what frequencies, what vibrations, what the lyrics needed to be. He set out to make change in the world and to do it with his lungs. And that's all I'm doing, you know, and it didn't matter if one person came to this concert or 3 million, you know. If you're out there and you want to see something better, you want to see something beautiful, you want to see turning around, use your lungs. Use your lungs, you know, and no matter what's bad happening around you or whatever it looks, however bad it looks, you got to find within yourself how to, it's not going to break me. It's not going to break me. It'll all be fine. I'm always okay. I am in total surrender. So I only make these videos the way that I'm led to and when I'm led to. Okay. And I'll see you back when it gets to calling me. And remember, everything's not your fault. You are loved. And I love you too. And don't let go of hope. And don't let go of faith.